Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm AirsoftAL, and I am here today to answer some questions about Operation Shiloh Fire. Yes, my first milsim that I've not only created with my friends, but also the first milsim that I will ever be attending. Maybe, who knows, we'll have to see in the future. But, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here to answer some common questions that I've been asked about the event. And hopefully it will enlighten you as to what's going on at the event and what we have planned. So, let's just go ahead and get off to the bat of the price, ticket sales, and what have you, as well as something else that I believe you may have heard me announce, but you may not know. Starting off, ticket sales, and or more or less reserving positions. Understand now that we will be selling all tickets on site, i.e., if you go to ask us to buy a ticket online, we cannot guarantee you a refund should you not be able to do that. Which is why we're not doing online sales because, well, we can't guarantee we can refund your money. That is the only reason we're not doing online ticket sales yet. When we do have an ability to give you a refund, should you not be able to come to the event, then we will be able to, and we will start selling tickets online. However, we're not able to at this time because this is our first event. So please, do understand that we're not doing it because, oh, we want to be those guys. We're doing it because we can't guarantee we can give you back your money. So please, don't think that. We're just trying to make sure that you're able to have money, or at least be able to secure something on site. Now, in terms of reserving positions on teams, for those of you who don't know, the team positions are as follows. We have the Tennessee Volunteer Forces and or Militia, and of course the Communist Conscripts from the Democratic People's Republic of California, or the DPRC. And as such, depending on how many people show up, we will either have an even number of teams, or we will be changing the number of teams, i.e. splitting people up, making sure that the teams are even. I.e. you will get an armband indicating which team you're on, which will be essentially a no band versus armband situation, or maybe something else. Now, if you do want to come in the team colors, the Tennessee Volunteer Forces are the M81 Woodlands. And the civilian militia is essentially what I'm wearing right now, or a flannel and jeans with a combat vest on. With the Democratic People's Republic of California's conscripts, or their quote-unquote military force, they wear solid colors, OD green or something else entirely. However, information on that will be in the description down below on the event page on Facebook. So if you want to get more information on that in a little bit more detail, or talk to our staff members, go down there and ask your question. Now, the next bit of information is pricing. What is the price for the event? The entry fee for the event to play for the 2-day event is $25. However, there is a night game that you will have to pay an extra $5 for, rounding out the price to $30. Once again, if you want to play the night game, you will have to pay $30 straight. No odds, just straight up even numbers in terms of prices. Now, there will be lunch provided, of course, and that will be sub $5 or even less, depending on what kind of lunch you buy. Once again, that is one of those things that we're wanting to do for our people, or at least for the attendants that are coming to the event. Now, the big thing right now especially is that the event as a whole will be on half of 180 acres of land. However, that is something else we'll be getting to in a second. Now, you're probably wondering what's the big thing that I've been talking about at the beginning of this video. That is, of course, that because we had to move the event from March to April 25th to the 26th, and April being the month of autism awareness, we have teamed up with Autism Awareness to help raise money for schools that work with children with disabilities. As such, we will be raising money, and by the end of the event, we will announce how much money we've raised thanks to you folks at home, or those who have basically come at the event as a whole to basically donate. And yes, we will have a donation station set up so that way you can donate either directly or other avenues for you to donate by. Again, we are still working out the details on that with Autism Awareness, so we will let you know as things come up. But essentially, when it comes to ticket sales or reserving a spot, you can still reserve a spot. All you have to do is message us on Facebook and say, I either want to be on the Communist Conscripts or Civilian Militia / Tennessee Volunteer Forces. At which point, we will jot down your name and what position you want to be in. That way we have a good, even number of teams that will be coming. And hopefully things like that will work out. Now that the basic info is done, let's move on to the field as a whole. The piece of land we were playing on is, of course, from a Gulf War veteran, who is allowing us to play on his 180 acres of land. However, we're only using half of that 180 acres, but it's still a large portion of land if you saw the video of us actually touring the land. And believe me, this thing is huge, even if it's just half. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be something as a whole that's actually pretty cool. And if you want to see the land as it is right now, before it's cleaned up and all that, the video will be at the end card of this video. Now, onto that land. The land we'll be playing in is mostly woodland. We may have some structures set up for the enemy fob and the friendly fob. And because of that, there may be some close quarters combat or some urban combat, so prepare as such. However, because this is heavy woodlands, I do ask that all players who come please do wear the proper boots and proper footwear when fighting in a heavy woodland environment, especially the fact there's going to be trenches. Yes, there will be trench warfare, so please do prepare as such. Now on to the hit rules, of course. The hit rules will be the same. However, there is medic rules, and we will be using, of course, Milsim West medic rules, where if you get hit once, you can be buddy aid, but if you get hit again, you will have to get a medic water. Because it's in April, Tennessee is a little wary when it comes to the weather in April, so it's either going to be really hot or really cold, but either way, you're still got to stay hydrated in that period of weather. So yes, you will have to have water, that way you can stay hydrated. But, once again, it's one of those things. And for those of you who have played a Milsim West games and you have done that, it's how it is. Now on to, of course, the rules of engagement as a whole. Rules of engagement are simple. When it comes to actual manual of arms, we're not going to restrict you to semi-auto or full auto. It is completely your choice. And since we're fighting in heavy woods, you will have to use full auto to cut through some of the thick undergrowth if we haven't cleared the undergrowth as is. That's just a general rule of thumb when it comes to heavy woodland fighting. You're going to have to cut through all that grass and branches and stuff to basically get through there. But for those of you who prefer semi-auto, fire semi-auto. For those of you who want to fire full auto, go fire full auto. Each thing is its own essential stuff. Now, the rules of engagement when it comes to actual close quarters combat, there are no bang-bang rules when it comes to basically every other gun, except for DMRs and rifles. DMRs and sniper rifles, you will have a 100-foot engagement distance. And if you are close, you will have to switch to your sidearm or your secondary. We do not want people getting hurt at this event as a whole. Moving on to, of course, the other things. There will be blank fire weapons present, hopefully, depending on what's going on. But blank fire weapons are permitted. And you are able to call your hits or not from blank fire. If you want to call your hits from blank fire, that's cool. Don't call your hits from blank fire and just want it to be there for atmospheric purposes, that's cool too. But once again, it's one of those things. Pyrotechnic grenades will be there as well, which means that, you know, there's that also, so please do be careful. Smoke grenades are allowed, however, only Enola Gays are to be used. We don't want any sort of fireworks smoke grenade to be used because of fear of, well, forest fire. We do not want to cause a forest fire, so please, for the love of God, use actual Enola Gay smoke grenades and not firework grenades. Only airsoft-oriented smoke grenades are allowed, like Enola Gays. Moving on. Now, vehicle combat is, of course, going to be a thing because vehicles will be on the premises. And for the vehicle crews and people operating the vehicles, here's how vehicle combat is to go down. If you get hit with an AT round once, the vehicle is disabled. If you get hit, but the crew's still alive, of course. If you get hit a second time with the AT round, the entire crew inside the vehicle is dead. That's it. You're just dead, okay? Which means you're to pull out your dead rag, all that good jazz, and basically show that you are dead. Moving on. Now, there is a few other game modes that will be introduced, but we're going to save that for when there's actual things there, when we actually get there. So, do know there will be some action missions, what have you, all that good jazz. Now, as a whole, when it comes to the night game, and this is where things are going to get a little bit more complicated for us, the admin staff, because a lot of you have already asked about flares being used. If there is no... I'm just going to make it as simple as possible for the night game when it pertains to flares. You know, the illumination flares that lights up the entire area. If there is no threat of a possible forest fire, we will allow you to use illumination flares. However, if there is a threat of a forest fire or the possibility of a forest fire happening and it's not preventable, then we will ask you guys not to use flares for the night game. As such, we will have you guys use flashlights, NVGs, nods, things like that, instead of flares. However, we are not opposed to flares, we just have to make sure that there isn't going to be a threat of a forest fire, since we are playing in a very heavy wood environment that we're still going to clear, and make sure that everything is good. And on the final thing, pertaining to the AO and the rest area, camping is allowed. You are allowed to camp on site, and there will be an area cleared specifically for camping. However, if you want to sleep in a foxhole or sleep in the trench, to be able to do that, you're more than welcome to. We only ask that you make sure you stay warm because, well, it does get cold in Tennessee in April, so please do keep that in mind and be sure that you are prepared for that. And I'm not going to lie, guys, if you can, please do research Tennessee weathers during spring, because this is, in fact, the kind of year that the temperature just either goes up or goes down at night. So depending on how things go, that's how it's going to be. Now, there will be charging stations set up for you guys to basically use, be it solar powered or just a generator running off gasoline or diesel. We will have a power station for you guys to charge up your batteries, as well as an air tank there for HPA users. We are not going to leave you guys in the dark when it comes to basically your guns running out of juice and then you forgot to bring a spare battery. We will give you the ability to charge up your batteries and charge up your HPA tanks to basically do what you do best, sling plastic. Now, here's a big one. When there is an emergency, besides obviously shouting real world, we will have trained EMTs there, as well as other medical staff, including our staff being trained in basic first aid. So if there's an emergency, let a staff member know, hey, this guy twisted his ankle, this person tripped and may have sprained his knee. Please, for the love of God, guys, don't do like Jet Desert Fox, who cut his leg open and just kept playing. If you are hurt, and you are badly hurt, please let a staff member know so we can get you the proper medical attention that you need. I myself am trained in basic first aid, but our other staff members will be registered EMTs. So again, please, don't be that guy and ruin the game because you wanted to be a gung-ho Rambo who may have gotten hurt, but you wanted to keep playing. That is going to ruin it for everyone else, and it's going to ruin your body because it is your body. Please, take care of yourself first and let the game be secondary. That's all I'm asking. And this is coming from someone who cares a lot about people, and if you've seen in my gameplay videos, I make sure to say sorry every single time I do something wrong, and even afterwards, I'll go up to someone and be like, hey, you okay? Are you hurt? You good? Okay, go. Now, the big one that I think, well, not really a big one that I've been asked a lot about for the event is there going to be toiletries on site? Yes, there will be outhouses for you to go do your business. Or, if you want, for that extra added immersion, dig a hole. Just dig a hole, take a dump in, bury the hole. You can do that. I don't care. Just make sure you bury the hole good enough so someone doesn't step through it and they step in your crap. Now, one important thing I need to tell you guys is be aware of animals in the area. I'm not talking about like goats or things like that. I'm talking about coyotes, copperheads, water moccasins, actual dangerous animals. If you see an animal, please be sure to identify it as such. If you see a coyote or even a group of coyotes, do not engage them. Either slowly back away and be sure you're in a group of 3. I don't need you guys getting attacked by coyotes because coyotes in Tennessee right now have not been have basically lost their fear of man. They will attack you. So please, be aware of the coyotes, and please, for the love of God, identify a snake as one of the dangerous snakes. Please do brush up on the animals in Tennessee, That way it can be easily identified. I don't need someone getting bitten by a water moccasin or a cottonmouth or even a copperhead because you mistook it for a king snake. And even then, leave it alone. Do not mess with it. Let it go about its business and don't mess with it. Same thing goes for wasps or bees or anything of that nature. Any animal that you can identify as being dangerous, leave it alone. Now, bugs and things like that, like a black widow that may have crawled up your hand, kill it. You are more than welcome to kill it. I don't care if you gotta shoot it with your I don't care if you gotta shoot it with your gun. I don't care if you gotta smack it with your glove. Kill the fuckers. Just kill them all. Kill all spiders. If you can't tell, I don't like spiders. Or snakes. Really, anything that can possibly kill me, I really don't like it. I really don't. That's out of the way. A big one is if you have allergies or you are allergic to something, let the admin staff know, or contact us on Facebook so we can write down your name and your medical information. That way we know. Also, please do have your medical cards with you. That way we know what to give the other emergency staff if we have to take you to a hospital. Again, being prepared is your responsibility as much as it is ours. So please, do that. It helps us as much as it helps you to save your life if you have an allergic reaction to a wasp, or really anything else entirely. Aside from that, the one important thing that I think doesn't need to be explained anymore is eye protection. For the love of God, do not, repeating this now, if you were in the AO and you were in the mission area, do not take off your goggles, your shooting glasses, your face mask. Do not take them off. If either of our staff members, who are going to be playing alongside you, mind you, sees you take off your goggles, unless it's an emergency, do not take them off until you are off the field of play, and then you are happy to take them off. The same thing goes for your gun. If you are off the field of play, unload your gun, disconnect the battery, and make sure the thing is safe to be transported out. Once you are on the field of play, you're more than welcome to have a loaded gun. You're more than welcome to put the magazine in. You're more than welcome to take safety off. You're more than welcome to basically sling plastic as much as you want. But for the love of God, do not be that guy and come into the sleeping area where everyone's camping and just start firing off shots like you're a drunk redneck on New Year's Eve. We don't need accidents happening. Okay? Okay. Anywho. If you have any other questions that you would like to ask about Operation Shiloh Fire, please let us know in the comment section down below. And if you're going to ask about the location of the field, the address is right there on the information on the event page, which is linked right down below. And if you have any questions for our staff members, please do ask them on the event page itself. Our staff is there to help answer your questions, help you out as a whole, and as such, more or less just there to help you out. I do hope that my ramblings have been actually helpful for you guys, and I do hope that you guys do show up to Operation Shiloh Fire, and I do hope you help out Autism Awareness, that event, and donate as much as you can. I'm not asking you to donate $100 right on the spot, I'm just asking you to donate as much as you can. And we will have merchandise there for you to buy, that way you can have a lot of fun. And you're welcome to basically experience the local flavor of West Tennessee, on the border of Mississippi. Yeah, no, we're literally like where you're at, where the event's going to be at. It's like 10-15 minutes away from Mississippi, the border. Yeah. Anyhow. Thank you all for watching. As always, I've been AirsoftAL, and if you want to come to Operation Shiloh Fire, go to the link down below in the comments section or the description, click on it, and basically come out and have some fun. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, the guy who created his first MilSim event with the help of his friends, and I hope to see you guys in April to beat some commies. Till next time.